Welcome back
to
CryptidLorePodcast.
Yep, and we're back. So today's cryptid is I wanted to do because it's a little seasonal. So I am John, and
I'm Ethan.
And this cryptid is big, bad, hungry, and we are talking about the werewolf.
Yep. It's the werewolf episode, and this is your favorite cryptid, right?
Yep. And also, the reason I said seasonal was because coming up around the time we put this up will be around the wolf moon. And the wolf moon says to be more of a time for werewolves, usually. And don't forget the blood moon, too, is also a werewolf. But it's also the time you would hear wolves howling, mostly. So, this is our cryptid. Do you like this one?
Yeah, I don't know as much as you, so I'm ready to learn. Let's start by talking about where the original story of the werewolf came from, right?
Well, first we should tell what they look like. So, what I think they look like, they're gray, usually. They usually have like a lumberjack shirt and maybe blue jeans, and sometimes carry around an axe since they're lumberjacks. And they have the wolf's head with gray fur all over a human's body, with sometimes a tail, if not, but I don't usually draw a tail.
Yeah, I guess that's the kind where it's like
more mountain.
They transform and they're more kind of like they're still kind of like the person they were before, right? Because they still have all the clothes and stuff.
Yeah, and some are just.
But some are more like they get a lot bigger than the person. They're maybe like 7 feet tall or something.
Yeah.
And they're like big wolf, but they can stand up on their legs.
Yeah. People.
They always have pretty sharp claws, right?
Yeah. So let's go where they talk. So this is so where they come from is they actually come from Greek.
Like ancient Greek myths?
Yeah. So, let me tell you the first story of the werewolf. This came from year 1.
Okay.
So there was this king called King Lycaon.
Yeah.
I might say it a little wrong, but I feel like
I think that's right.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it, too. So, one night, Zeus came over to have dinner at his house. And since he was such an honored guest, he actually killed his own son and fed the meat to Zeus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but Zeus got...
That's pretty weird.
But Zeus got very angry, and he actually cursed King Lycaon for the rest of his life to live as a werewolf. So what then happened was he got really mad and he went on a rampage through towns. Until this part might get a little... I think I made up just to cover the story. A bunch of knights came and finally killed this werewolf.
Like Spartans, like in ancient Greece, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that was the full story. So it was originally a punishment for a crazy king.
Yeah. And one day I probably will write a book and maybe change it of Hades cursed him at that moment to do that, and Zeus didn't see it.
So I think that first story is like you have like a normal person and then they get turned into like a normal wolf, basically.
Well, he did turn. Well, I saw a picture and he was like a wolf man dressed up in royalty.
Oh, okay.
Stuff.
Well, then another story, kind of like where I get my main idea of the werewolf came from, like Europe during the medieval times.
Yeah, I like that werewolf.
Yeah, like they would think people maybe turned into werewolves, and there'd be wolf attacks in like the woods of France and medieval Europe.
Yeah.
So they kind of thought it was they would test people to see if they were werewolves.
So this fact I'm gonna tell you, which kind of makes it a little sad for Indians. Indians actually didn't have werewolves. The settlers told them about werewolves. So it just blended in with Indians. I
mean, speaking of that, do you know some other kinds? Like, what are some other types of werewolves around the world?
Well, there's the cat wolf, the werecat.
Okay.
Which don't think I'm just naming random animals.
Yeah.
I do think there's like a werebear, but I never heard of it.
I've heard there's like were-tigers.
Yeah.
And maybe like China,
there's were
India.
hyenas actually.
Yeah.
And there's also a creature near who's around the werewolf called the Dog Man, which don't get confused with the book about Dog Man. But
okay. Well, we'll probably save that one for another episode.
Let's be it's a little more of a separate cryptid.
Yeah. So the main thing is, what makes it a werewolf is that it's a person that transforms into a wolf, right? So what causes them to transform?
There's a couple things. Being born on Christmas Eve, which is I don't get. It should be more on Hallows Eve. Or drinking water from a wolf's paw.
Oh, that's interesting.
Paw print.
Yeah.
And also from sleeping under a full moon on Friday.
Well, that's a crazy one. I know full moon, if people have like the werewolf curse, the full moon causes it, right?
Huh? Yeah.
The full moon causes them to transform.
Or getting bit or scratched by another werewolf.
Or if you get cursed, put the werewolf curse on you.
There's some...
What happens if you get bit by another werewolf? Do you transform? Sometimes?
So speaking of curses with werewolves, let me tell you another story I have.
Okay.
So there was this... So this is around the medieval time, so it was a very dark time, where people were accusing people by just saying she's a witch, and rest in peace to that girl.
Yeah.
So even that there was this flea who would also go just through towns and destroying it.
Right.
Yeah. So let me go with the story. So there was this guy who got accused by being a werewolf, and they tortured him by very bad things.
Yeah.
Until he finally confessed he is a werewolf, and he said.
Oh, so they were right.
Huh?
They were right about him?
Well, he said, but that doesn't... He might just be saying that so that the people will let him go.
Yeah.
But what then happened was he said, me and the devil, I signed a contract of being a werewolf to kill people. And there are even boys and moms getting missing. And sometimes they would find the bodies. But if they didn't, they probably might be still alive. So what then happened was they whipped him in the back, I think. Then they killed him and placed his head on a spear in the town to tell people, if you want to join the devil back, you should join it because that's what we did to him.
Well, sometimes you can tell if someone might be a werewolf, because if they're in their human form, they might be like super hairy or have like a crazy beard, or maybe they have like sharp claws.
Maybe they like dogs so really much.
Or their eyes kind of look like a wolf eye.
And to tell if they're going to turn into a werewolf, they might be acting like, oh no, when the full moon comes. They might be hiding from it.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, there's kind of different forms. Like some stories, the person just turns into like a normal wolf, basically, with four legs. But sometimes they're like, it's a wolf that stands up, or sometimes it's a giant wolf.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're gray, or sometimes they're like black.
So this story I'm about to tell you sort of changes the devil one. So there was this guy who's like 80 years old. And this was a long time ago. So when you're 80 years old, that's just pretty old.
Yeah.
So he got accused. So people thought he was he was
a werewolf.
But
that's a pretty old werewolf, huh?
Yeah, I guess. But then he actually, instead of denying, he said he was. But he said he was the hound of God. And God chose him and some other people to be hounds of God to go on the world to kill devils and, witches. So, but then after that, they actually, instead of killing him, they just whipped him in the back 10 times, pretty hard. Then they just kicked him out of town to not come back. Probably didn't live long after that. So what do you say to that one?
So it's not good to be... If you lived in the medieval times and people thought you were a werewolf, that was not good for you, huh?
Yeah. It's
and we'll never really know who was and who wasn't a werewolf.
Yeah.
But some of the things that make werewolves pretty powerful is they basically have like night vision, right?
Yeah, that's pretty.
And they can hear almost like a dog. They basically have all the senses of a wolf,
Yeah.
but the intelligence of a person.
Yeah, and also they're almost undefeatable.
Yeah, they have really strong.
Yeah.
And they're fast.
Yeah, there was this cool movie, and there was a werewolf, and he had dynamite lit in his hand, and it exploded, and a whole bunch of his parts just broke, but then they came back and formed him again. So you can, I guess, get like a head start to run away if you do that, but
they're pretty hard to kill, right?
Yeah. So they say when the full moon's out, they become a werewolf. They also say if you get bitten, you become a werewolf. We all know that. And scratched. Yeah. And they say a silver bullet. Shoot it and
yeah, we're gonna get to that, but a couple more things. It's kind of interesting they're not like in a wolf pack. Like normal wolves are usually in a
Some
pack.
Are. Yeah,
but if they were in a pack, that'd be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, like it's pretty, like I know.
So we're kind of lucky that they don't really. It's usually one werewolf.
But it feels like a whole family of humans who just got
They all got bit by the same werewolf.
Or scratched.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I looked up, and you actually can kill a werewolf by just stabbing it in the head.
Yeah, let's go through the ways
to
kill a werewolf.
Yeah, and defeat it. You can stab it in the head 3 times with a knife, which sounds a little too easy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the main ones that most people know about.
Like silver.
I know silver bullet's the main one that I know about.
Yeah, silver bullet actually is just a Hollywood thing. What it really is, there's this flower who's almost. I feel like it's almost like a catnip to them, who really bothers them.
I think that the thing with the bullet is the silver's so pure and shiny that it kind of breaks the curse. You know?
Almost
so
like
that's why it's so useful against them.
Yeah, and also it's a bullet.
And then also they're probably weak against fire. I mean, it probably doesn't kill them, but their fur catches on fire.
Yeah, that would be painful.
So
they probably can get hurt by things who you would think who would kill them, but silver bullet and they're dead.
Is there a name for that flower you're talking about? Is it called wolfsbane?
Yeah, wolfsbane.
Yeah.
So here's a little more modern stories I have.
Okay, let's go through one of those.
So there was a guy, and he was a guard, a security guard.
Do you know where?
I forgot.
Okay.
I think maybe like at a police stuff. I'm not
Okay.
sure. When I heard the story, they just said like a security guard.
Okay.
So what then happened was it was night, and he was driving home from his work. So then he went past the Indian border and an Indian mound, and he saw some strange thing. And 3 days went past, and he couldn't get his eyes off it. So he went again there to catch it. So what then happened was he stared it in the eyes, and they for at least around 10 minutes they just were looking at each other in the eyes till the creature just looked at him with like ugh, then just ran away. It was like they're doing a staring competition, and he was like, "This is getting boring. I'm just gonna go and kill a deer." Yeah, and it was near an Indian mound, so it could have been one of the Indians, maybe.
Yeah.
Because there are movies with Indian werewolves.
Yeah.
So let's go with another story. This is another modern one.
Okay.
So there's a really remoted area who's just like a road. So there was a girl, and it was Halloween night, and she wasn't expecting any people or trick-or-treaters because it's such a remoted area. So she took her eyes off the road and had to do something on her phone. But then she hit something.
Oh no.
And she went outside. It looked like a dog, but it was a werewolf.
It got up and attacked her.
It got up and was getting her. Then she quickly went in the car and then jumped on the front. Then, actually on the back. Then she went super fast. It flew off and damaged the car. So then she told word to her neighbors, and quickly it spreaded.
Yeah.
Then that's how werewolves became really popular.
Well, I know like modern werewolf stuff, like maybe you saw like a crazy or like a really big wolf or something or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And people think it's a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
And also they're known to be like they're pretty dangerous, so like sometimes if people go missing in the woods or stuff, it's like
maybe
there was a full moon and maybe it was a werewolf.
And maybe there was some wolf action.
Yeah.
So here's my question. When you become a werewolf, can you control it or no?
I think it depends. I think it depends on the curse.
Yeah, like I've bet like the devil curse you control it, but you have to be evil when you control it. Like I feel like the god curse you be good. Then there's just the curse to make you just evil. Then I feel like there's just the normal one who just makes you a wolf just living in there, and almost like a Bigfoot, but if someone was coming into his territory, he might hurt them.
So why is this one your favorite?
Well, I really love wolves. Wolves are definitely my favorite animal.
Okay.
I have 5 dogs.
And it's kind of just like a cooler version of a wolf.
Yeah. And I actually dressed up as a werewolf.
Well, here's the question. If you could become a werewolf, would you?
If I could control it.
Yeah, okay.
Like, if it had to be evil, no. But if it was good, yes.
So what's like a cryptid we could compare it to? Maybe like a versus?
Bigfoot.
Think if we did a versus Bigfoot?
Yeah, because they're both, like, ones
Well, I'll tell you this. I think
America.
a werewolf would win.
Why?
I think their claws and their strength would probably take out a Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot's... Here's the thing. Most of the time, Bigfoot's, like, peaceful and kind of runs away from stuff.
Yeah.
So I think if he had to fight a werewolf, and werewolves are always mean and aggressive. So.
Yeah, but he's very, 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 very strong. Like, he could
He's kind of like Chewbacca.
I really do love werewolves, but I'm just gonna say... I'm Team Bigfoot when it's a versus. Because
really?
Bigfoot...
I definitely think...
Because Bigfoot could just take a rock and maybe put it around silver on it, then just bang it on the head. Or he probably
pretty hard for him to find, though.
How?
Where would he find a silver rock?
I bet he could just maybe get in the trap and maybe find a hunter with a silver bullet and lead it. And it's like he's running away from him, and the guy's trying to shoot him. But then he goes to the werewolf, the pit. He put the werewolf down. Then the hunter just.
I think you have a lot of faith in Bigfoot here. I think.
I do.
The werewolf probably about the same size as Bigfoot. It's probably about the same strength and has claws. And teeth.
I feel like Bigfoot might just be a little bigger.
He's probably a little bigger.
I feel like.
But he's definitely. A wolf is pretty strong.
I feel like it depends.
Yeah.
Like if this is a weak Bigfoot and a strong werewolf. But if
I think if they're both at their full strength, I think a werewolf wins.
But
unless Bigfoot had a silver spear.
Yeah. But
I don't think he would have that.
Yeah, what if they teamed up?
Against who?
Like a vampire or the Wendigo. Or they teamed up against hunters.
I think they would beat a lot of hunters.
Yeah.
It'd take a lot of they'd have to figure out they need to get a silver bullet. And Bigfoot knows the forest better than the hunters, so.
Yeah, and the werewolf I bet a werewolf could just howl and a whole bunch of wolves would just come to him.
Yeah.
I bet he has a wolf army.
So, I guess we'll just agree to disagree. I'm Team Werewolf and you're Team Bigfoot here.
Yeah. Actually, to me, it depends. Like,
okay.
I'm on Team Werewolf if it's just a normal one. If it's a strong Bigfoot, I'm on Team Bigfoot.
Okay, where would you... Let's go to ranking.
Yeah.
You ready to rank?
For this, I feel like we have a couple more things we can tell.
Okay. Well, what do you have left to talk about?
So, we haven't gone over where you can find them in the world without just, like, looking for them. Like,
right.
We definitely know you can find them in Europe.
Yeah.
Sort of.
That's probably, I would say the main place to look out for werewolves is like the dark forests in like Europe.
I feel like the dark
like
forest.
Like France and like places where there's not a lot of people, like a little village.
And also probably in the northern mountains of the United States, probably.
Yeah.
So, You can find him in some movies. Like, you can find werewolves in Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
You can find him in even Nightmare Before Christmas.
There's a werewolf in the episode of
Stranger Things.
X-Files.
Yeah, X-Files.
There's werewolves. They're in a lot of stories, too.
Yeah, they're even in podcasts.
They're a really popular Halloween creature, too.
Yeah. And I think that might be it of where you can find them. And is there anything else you think you can find them? You can't find them in, like... You can't really find them in, like, market stuff like a cereal box. Like, there's no werewolf mascot. I bet
what about those cookies ones?
Oh, yeah, Cookie Crisp.
Of course. I guess he kind of counts.
Yeah, because he's...
It's like a human wolf. That's probably the weakest werewolf.
Well, I bet he is pretty strong.
But he has pretty good cereal.
I think he's pretty strong because he eats so much cookies. He would get super... Okay. He would get, like... He would go super fast. But I bet he's a vegan.
I guess that's one example of a friendly werewolf.
Yeah. You also in Twilight. I should have said Twilight.
Yeah, I don't know much about that.
Yeah, it's more in the second Twilight.
Oh, okay.
You see werewolves, but they're not in their werewolf form. You see the humans.
Okay.
So I feel like that's pretty much it of that.
You want to rank?
Yeah.
Okay, so we put Bigfoot at B last time. Do we want to keep Bigfoot there?
I feel like we should put him one down.
So this is by... What is this, by danger level?
Yeah, of, like, danger and scariness.
Okay, I think, yeah. Okay, we're going to change it, so we're going to shift Bigfoot down to C.
And
I think we put a werewolf in A.
Is A the second?
Yeah, second from the most dangerous.
Then B's
because there's ways you can defeat a werewolf.
Yeah, I actually do feel like A's good.
He's very dangerous, but
he also
they're also harder. They're more rare than other things.
Yeah, So this is a good cryptid, and I feel like this is a good time to end it. Do you agree? Yeah.
So we're gonna rank werewolves at A, and thank y'all for watching. Mm-hmm. Thank you to those new subscribers, right?
Yep, and we definitely will continue this.
Yep.
And please check our other YouTube channel.
All right.
Bye.